calendar, lunar calendar.
What is that?
Not a solar calendar. Calendar is right now we use solar, like a Western. We based on the sun. Lunar based on the moon. So
Okay.
we have the.
Oh yeah, I know full moon. Yeah,
Yeah,
same
moon.
in here also. We have a full moon. Like I
Red
think
full moon.
about Sunday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone see a full moon
Yes.
Yeah.
on the
So
And Prof.
sky.
Hwang, I would like to ask about when we will visit Taiwan on 16. What about the weather? It will be autumn or still hot?
autumn right now, fall.
Autumn.
So is last Saturday is the full moon is we call middle autumn, middle
Yes.
fall. So the middle autumn usually temperature a little bit drop. So right now it's very cool, not so hot.
Oh, okay. So the weather it will be cooler, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Around maybe 20, 22, 23.
Because I got information from another college there that maybe October is there is still hot, so we will prepare our clothes for the hot weather, or it will be for cold or for autumn.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes a little bit hot, sometimes it's cool.
Okay. Okay.
But not really hot.
Okay. So the weather will be nice, right? I hope so, because Indonesia now very, very hot. Okay, Pak Wedi sudah ada belum ya?
Belum kayaknya Bu. Ini Pak WD.
Tapi barusan sih sudah dikontak. Iya katanya. Please wait one more time for our Vice Dean to join with this lecturing.
Oh sudah Pak WD sudah masuk Bu.
Oh ya.
Dear.
So Prof. Hwang, I'm sorry. Could you stop share first before maybe we can start for opening speech?
So right now I already start my sharing or not yet?
No, not yet. Wait, I would like to invite for our Vice Dean to give some opening speech.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe Budela first, please.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Bu Ami, for the time, and also good afternoon, everybody. Our beloved student on educational technology, batch 2021 and also 2022, and also our honored Vice Dean, and also our extraordinary head of study program, Dr. Laksmi Dewi, and also, of course, our distinguished professor in here, Professor Hwang Yuin. So everybody, today we are here to welcome a distinguished guest, a renowned expert in the field of educational technology, as well as the one who will be serving us for our visiting professor for this semester on the year of 2023 and 2024, where this distinguished professor will be giving you 7 meetings for our visiting professor. So I hope everybody can enjoy, everybody can absorb a lot of knowledge and also a lot of insight from our distinguished professor in here. But before he start his lecturing and also his class, maybe we can hear some opening speech for our Vice Dean that is already together with us in this room Zoom, that is Dr. Nandang Budiman, MPD. For Dr. Nandang Budiman, the time is yours if you want to give some opening speech for our visiting professor today.
Wadik, punten.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Okay. Thank you.
Pak Wede, punten videonya belum kelihatan, itu kameranya silang.
Begitu? Sebentar.
Iya.
Oke, 5 minutes. Are you clearly now? Jelas?
No, you are still no video.
Why see? Why?
I don't know.
Why see? What the problem? Pak Ferdian ini problem apa, Pak Ferdian? Kenapa tidak ada videonya? Ferdian tidak terbuka gimana sih?
Dari kameranya, Pak.
Nah.
Oke. Sudah kelihatan sekarang, Pak.
Oke. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, the first, the Honorables, Prof. Hwang Yuin, Ph.D. from the Dean of Faculty of Science and Engineering, National Donghua University, Taiwan. Good morning and good afternoon today. The Honorables, head of a study program of curriculum development in Faculty of Education Science, University of Indonesia, and all of the lecturers and students from curriculum study program of
Curriculum and Educational Technology, Prof.
Yes,
Pak.
Curriculum and educational technology, I think. Thank you very much for your coming here in our Zoom meeting in the Asian professors. First of all, we thank to our gods. Alhamdulillah, we provide this good opportunity in good health and conditions. So we can attend this special meeting in order to hold the visiting lecture program in the course of H1 topic in educational technology and digital learnings. And then, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we know that to teach educational demand in 21st century revolutions, I think in the global change we experience in university education needs to prepare our lecturer, our students to competence in the technology from besides how to develop the future technology in education. And I think these courses that will be held by Prof. Hwang Yuin, Ph.D., very essential and very foundation for our framework is to hold on the program of in the world today. Okay, we sure that this collaborates with Prof. Hwang. This is effort of our university to order to implement how the educational technology and curriculum developments go to be the best in our country. We hope this program can be implemented and enjoying to all of us here, and may hope give us the very competence in how to develop our education the best in the future. Good luck, and with the hope that the gods and with the all of us here would like to open this facing lecture with the topic courses about advanced topic education technology and digital learning with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good luck and success for all of us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Nandang Budiman, for the opening speech. So everybody, after Dr. Nandang addressed his opening speech, now we will have the privilege to hearing directly from Professor Hwang Yuin about, I think this is such intriguing topic lately, that is about advanced topic in educational technology and digital learning. And for everybody to know, this is a 7 meeting visiting professor class, and in each meeting, the students will be assessed by the professor according to formative assessment or according to the summative assessment. So at the end of this visiting professor class, for those who are eligible to get micro credential or mini transcript, then you will be given a kind of certificate or mini transcript. So I hope everybody, especially educational technology batch 2021 and also 2022, can follow all of the class thoroughly and also listen and gain a lot of knowledge from Professor Hwang Yuin, because it's not easy for us to invite him as the visiting professor. As you can see, if you learn about his curriculum vitae, he is one of expert in educational technology and also expert in AI in education. So I think it's such a huge privilege for us for his presence in here, sharing his knowledge, sharing his research interest, and also sharing his insight about educational technology, especially in the era of digital technology and also AI in education. Okay, everybody, without further ado, please join me. Welcome Professor Hwang Yuin to our Zoom meeting. And also, as I told you before, Prof. Hwang, after this, the stage is yours. If you want to conduct the lecture section, it's all, if you want to modify, or maybe if you want to rearrange how you want to deliver your lecturing section, it's all on your hand. Professor Hwang, without further ado, the time is yours up to 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in Indonesian time. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck on your visiting professor class.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Dean Dr. Nathan Badiman and Dr. Dera and Dr. Lasmi. Yeah, I'm very happy to present here, and I will share my 7th meeting in the forthcoming maybe 2 or 3 months. I am very happy. So many participants online, over 150. So many participants.
I told you before, it will reach about 200 students, because in one batch there are about 95 students. So if we total it, it will be 170 students in total.
Okay. So I suppose this is a very good opportunity, not only to share my research experience. I also hope I can get some feedback from all of you. I like, by way discussion, not just one way, like a lecture. So thank you for your arrangement. I can come here to, share my recent research. Actually, today I will share 2 studies. Can you see my screen sharing? Can you see?
Yes, we can. Maybe we can. You can set it as presentation slide. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay. Today I prepare 2 studies. These 2 studies are related to multimedia annotation. So I suppose all of you have such kind, maybe similar experience using annotation when you maybe listen a lecture, or maybe when you read a book, you want to make an annotation, right? To maybe remember important concept. So maybe you will highlight, underline, and then maybe write some text. So I suppose this is a very good learning behavior. Do you agree? When you listen a lecture, so maybe you want to write down important concept that help you to remember later, right? Do you have such kind like learning behavior when you listen like a speech or lecture? Yeah, I think all of you are very good students. Otherwise, you cannot enter UPI. Some of you should have a very good learning behavior, how to help yourself to maybe remember some important idea, and then try to think more, right? To cultivate your critical thinking. So just like all of us have a short-term memory, we cannot remember everything, right? Because the short-term memory, the capacity is so limited. So today I will introduce multimedia annotation, web-based involvement. And the second study application for EFL writing and speaking, how to use multimedia web-based annotation system, and to know its effect on EFL, English as Foreign Language Writing and Speaking, okay, for junior high school student. So this study, I carry out how long? It's a long time ago. How long is about like 2005. 2005, this idea, multimedia annotation of the web-based learning environment. Okay. So before I share these two studies, I would like to introduce myself a little bit. Okay. I focus on education more than almost 25 years, more than 20 years. Maybe next year, I will work on this area, educational technology and design around 25 years. So this is, I'm very happy I got such kind of good reputation. Like research, usually in web-based Web of Science, Web of Science, SACI, Web of Science, okay. There is an area like instructional design and technology, about instructional design technology. Several experts, the expert from, I think from USA, okay, they surveyed, okay, this around like 11 years, 2007 to 2017. Okay, they surveyed, okay, like 65, high quality SACI journal. Okay, 65, they are the top, high quality journal related to instructional design and technology. Okay, so I'm very happy. I'm in the top. There are two ranking. Okay, I'm within the top 10. So the left side is called number of publication. The right hand side is called middle count score. Number of publication, you can understand is okay. In this 11 years, I published about 46, and about what the middle count score. Middle count score is mean in your publication. If you are the first author, right, or corresponding author, you will get a higher score. So it's like metal, like gold metal or like a silver metal, right? So if you have the, like the first author or corresponding author, you will get more score. So in this ranking, I'm a little bit higher. So it means that my publication, I'm usually first author or corresponding author. So I'm very happy in this, ranking list. I'm within top 10. So this is it's good for me. Can motivate me, can motivate me to do more research in this area. And this is the second about like computer assisted language learning. Right now, this impact factor almost 6. Okay, I have an update. It's 2023 about like 5.9, around 1.9. Okay, almost 6. So this journal is the best journal in this area, computer and language learning. In this area, this is the highest impact factor. So I'm very happy. I'm also ranking the number 1. This surveyed by European author. They surveyed, okay, this journal about like 2008 to 2019, around 12 years. Okay, I am very happy that rank 1. The rank 1, okay, like a number of publication, citation, okay, or high index, okay. So English learning, is the main domain knowledge I try to help, okay. So this is the first study you can find published around 2007. Computer and education. This is the number 1 in instructional design and technology. This is number 1. The impact factor right now is over 10. The impact factor over 10. Okay, this is the number 1. Okay, so in instructional design and technology. Okay, this is for the area. So why I have this kind of study? Because I remember when I was like a childhood, I studied in elementary school. Usually in my textbook, I write a lot of the comment, write a lot of annotation, because I want to help me to remember important idea, right? Otherwise, I cannot remember all. So I think annotation, this is a very good, like my tool, try to help you, right? help you to learn effectively. Okay, effectively. You write down. Maybe next time or after maybe several days when I come back to read the page, the send learning material content, the send learning content, or can remind me, okay, important idea, right? Which part is important and the content, right? The knowledge, the concept can help me to, remind, okay, important idea. Sometimes I also try to connect different knowledge, right? And build like a concept network or concept map. Try to help me to remember, okay, different opinion, different knowledge, and their relationship. So can, consolidate, I know the important concept based on the connection, right? So concept map also a very good mind tool. Concept map is also a very important mind tool. Okay. So this is the reason why I try to do this research. Because when I was a childhood, usually use a paper base, right? Paper base, and I write down important, use a pen or pencil, right? Write down important idea, right? Help me to remember later. So I think annotation is a pretty useful. I think this is very good learning behavior. You should have. Later on, I will show you. Okay, today I will introduce, okay, my first study and application to help EFL speaking and writing for junior high school students. Next lecture, next time, I will talk about some theory to support why annotation is so important. More important than discussion board, forum. In learning management system, like a Moodle, okay, or other learning management system, they have like a discussion board for it, right? So can upload some post. Teacher can upload homework, and the student to upload homework solution. Or if you have a question, you can post the question, and maybe teacher or other classmate can try to answer you, help you, right? So there is a discussion board, but annotation is very different. Annotation. So next time I will talk about why annotation is so important and what kind of theory to support this important learning behavior annotation. Okay, I will introduce, okay, like a literature review annotation, namely, mark made by learner, right? Like a highlight, underline, okay, or arrow, or like a text or graphic, right? On reading matter. So 1999, Marshall, okay, proposed a mechanism. They do clarification, like annotation. There are two classes. One is called expressive. The second is expressive. What's the difference? It's easy to differentiate, right? Like underline, highlight. Okay, we don't know the meaning. We don't know underline, highlight. Sometimes they just students, they are learning happy. This is not very meaningful. Okay, conscientiously. Okay, they just highlight learning material. Not very meaningful. They highlight, underline, right? When they read teaching material or learning material, right? So free mark. Expressive means the text. Okay, student write down some text, because we know the meaning. Maybe, okay, I have a question, or maybe some important concept in text, so we can understand. So it's called expressive annotation. Also like audio, record voice. Okay, or maybe give a picture, right? So that meaningful graphic, or we can understand what the content, right? So this is like a more meaningful multimedia, like a text, audio, or like a graphic. You can find, okay, like about beginning of 2000, they find a student with a strong, willingness, with a strong willingness to utilize annotation tool in online reading material, got higher learning achievement. If they have the strong willingness, if they would like to use the annotation tool more, okay, they will get a higher learning achievement. Any question? Or someone forget to mute their speaker. Okay, if you have a question, you can upload your question to like a chatting room. Okay. So this study just like using like maybe interview. Okay, interview or like perception. They don't have objective evidence, more objective evidence to support. For example, okay, if they made more annotation, okay, they will have a higher learning achievement. But here, they just, strong willingness. Maybe use an interview, maybe use a questionnaire, right? Moreover, here is more meaningful. Most students agree annotation tool would make learning more effective. They think, okay, annotation can make learning more effective. Yeah, we agree. But next is also very interesting and useful. Self-made annotation make a higher effectiveness, in learning than others. When you read your self-made annotation, okay, when you made annotation by yourself, it really can help in your learning, right? Then you just read from other made annotation. Or maybe you have the good friend, good classmate, okay, maybe he or she, okay, excellent student, okay, they made the annotation. And they say, oh, please, would you please, I can borrow your like textbook and I want to see your made annotation, right? Because maybe we know good classmate have a good annotation, right? We want to borrow the excellent student, their, annotation. We want to learn from them, right? But actually, self-made annotation is more, is more useful and have a higher effectiveness in learning. Do you agree? I will ask you a question. Why you made annotation? When you made annotation, what the purpose? You want to help your classmate when you made annotation. Do you want to help your classmate or want to help yourself? Definitely, right? Annotation is made for yourself, right? Because you think this is important, useful for yourself, not for your classmate. So when you read your classmate, others annotation, usually you will feel a little bit wondering, oh, why have such kind of annotation? You understand? Because this annotation is for the learner, not for others. Okay. And here, why I talk about collaborative learning, because this is a web-based multimedia annotation in web-based learning material. In web-based learning material, right? Web-based learning material. This is a web-based. So in a web-based environment, easy to share, right? Easy to do collaboration. Different from traditional learning environment, textbook, right? When you made annotation on your textbook, do you think your annotation on the textbook easy to share? Not easy, right? Except, okay, you lend your textbook to other people, right? Other people can look, or other people hard copy your textbook. Okay. So in a traditional paper-based, learning environment, not easy sharing, not easy to collaborative annotation, not easy to group annotation, not easy. In web-based environment, it's easy, right? Easy to share. So here I talk about collaborative learning. This is one, I think all of you agree, right? Learn together, right? And in group way, like Jigsaw can be appropriately held in many scenarios, right? Compared in individual learning. I think a collaborative learning, this is, we agree, very good way, effective way for learning. Not only for learning, also motivation, right? And also success expectation. Your motivation can be sustained, right? And also can have higher success expectation because you have the partner. Also, like task perseverance. If your companion and learning partner say, "Oh, please don't give up," or "Let's try again," so can help each other, more encourage each other. Like a task perseverance will also increase. Also, willingness to involve, in the learning, right? Willingness to have more involvement in learning. Okay. Eventually, learning achievement can be improved. I think this is very common right now. We know that this very well. How about collaborative or shared annotation? Okay. For example, maybe 2 students, 3 students, they make annotation together, just one copy annotation, right? Not for themselves, not for individual, they for group, the whole group. A group, if maybe 3 students, how to help each other to make meaningful annotation, or maybe some annotation made already made by other group member, right? By group member, and then you can make more advanced, right? Or maybe you can improve the existing annotation made by your group mate, so they can help each other to make a group annotation more meaningful, right? So how about collaborative and share? Share means, okay, you can see your classmate, right? Annotation. You can learn from them. Okay. Maybe you will see, oh, why student A have such kind of annotation? And you feel wondering. Okay. Maybe it's very inspired. It's very inspiring, right? When you look, okay, your classmate annotation, oh, this is important, I forget. So can help you to, maybe get a very meaningful, like annotation to help you learn, right? Have a question? Okay, there is a question. I'm very happy, if any of the students have question to ask, clarify, kindly deliver it. Okay. So we develop, web-based annotation tool. It's called VPen. It's called virtual pen. Okay, virtual pen, right? So the virtual pen include like underline, highlight, and also voice recorder. Okay, students, they can underline, they can input text. Also, they can record their voice. Actually, they also can upload the picture. One picture contains more thousands words, right? This is very simple, user interface. Okay, very simple user interface. Okay, so you can look at left-hand side. It's a category of the learning material. Okay, you can look at the page or chapter, right? And the right-hand side, you can look at this is digital learning content. And here, this is a 14 bar. Okay, so this bar you can click and move to everywhere. And this is called annotation toolbar. Highlight, underline, you can erase, also choose a different color. This is an example how students use VPen, okay, to make annotation. So you can look activity, this category, right? And here is a group mode. You can enable group mode. If the group mode means, okay, you just see, okay, your group member annotation. Your group member, if there are 3 group member, okay, in this right-hand side, the material, they will show annotation. Okay, for example, here, this is the user, the current user, their annotation. This is the voice, they record their voice. Okay, they type, okay, the text. And here, there is a name in the front, different from this annotation, right? These 2 annotation don't have like an author name. Okay, author name in the front. So this represent, okay, the current user. If they have the name Okay. Yeah, it means that this is a other group member annotation. Other group member made this annotation. Okay, made this annotation. So it can easily differentiate. This is the current author annotation. This is the group member annotation. So this here is like a highlight, underline. Okay. So also here have a member list that can show the member. Okay, show the member. Okay, if the 3 students in one group, they will show the 3 students. This is another. There is a sharing without group mode enabled. So you can click. This is the student ID. If you want to see, okay, first student, you just click. Then they will open a new window. The new window to show the first student their annotation. And if you want to see the third one, you just click. They will generate a new window. So you can have the several multiple new window can look. Other student their annotation. Try to learn from each other. This is called annotation sharing. So here, this is the owner. Okay, the current user. Okay, their annotation. Okay, this is also annotation. So students write a more meaningful, annotation to help them to, remember important idea, right? When they come back to read again. So I just mentioned this is a very simple, like annotation toolbar. Okay, easy to learn. Don't need to spend maybe 5 minutes to 10 minutes. They will know how to use. Okay, so you can look at highlight, underline. So they draw some geometric figure. Okay, circle, okay, rectangle, right? Okay, so this is I also showed how here enable group mode. So there are 2 students in one group. So I just mentioned, okay, this is a current user annotation. Here have the name. You can look at the red color, show the name. This is another group member, their annotation. So you can easily differentiate. You cannot delete. You cannot delete your group member annotation. Only the owner of the annotation can delete. Okay. You also can move. You can look have some overlap, right? Some kind of annotation on the top, another annotation. You can move to different, place. Move to right hand, a little bit right hand side. So don't have overlap and or don't cover the learning material. Okay, so they are all annotation. You can look easy to differentiate. Okay. This tool VPen have several features. It's compatible use the HTML-based material. It's compatible. So it's a loader, like a loader. So once the HTML learning material are loaded, okay, so through the VPen. VPen is a loader, HTML loader HTML learning material. So all annotation functionality will automatically embedded in the learning material. So this is a web-based annotation system. So students can see their annotation anywhere, right? They just have the browser and then log in. So they can see their annotation anywhere. Also, automatically store the annotation, content, into the external central database. We use a SQL Server. Okay. So easy to sharing, also for late data analysis. Okay, this is like architecture model is a loader. This is VPen loader. Okay, so this is you can look at this is the learning material. So load and then showed in the web browser. Okay, the browser. Okay, we also save in the database. If the student add a new annotation, we are saved in database SQL Server. We also have the web log to record their maybe how many times they read this HTML, this web page. Here we talk about we have the 3 annotation mechanisms, and these 3 annotation mechanism. First is individual annotation. Okay, they do it by themselves. They make annotation by themselves. The second is I just showed maybe 2 or 3 students in one group. They make annotation collaboratively. number 3 is just share. They made their individual annotation and share all to each other, but they made annotation by themselves. Okay, sure. We have like a quasi experiment. We have the 2 groups. One is a experimental group, and the other is a control group. Any questions so far? Although we have the 3 like annotation and mechanism, but we have 4 learning scenario. Okay, we have the 4 learning scenario for the 3 annotation mechanism. Why? Because we add 1 more, the last one. We use, right? Like final exam. We use final exam. We want to study the influence of the final exam. Okay, on learning with and without annotation. Annotation, okay, just I mentioned powerful tool. However, if there is another like the activity like final exam. Final exam is very important, right? No matter you have annotation or not, no matter, okay, with and without annotation. Student, they think final exam, maybe next week they will final exam, right? Student will try their best to learn. No matter you have the annotation or not, right? Okay. Because they know final exam will determine they will pass, right? Or fail. So they will try their best. So you can look. Okay, there are the first 3 is 3 the annotation mechanism, individual annotation, group annotation, 4 annotation sharing, and the number 4 is 4 annotation sharing with the final exam. Okay, so they introduce another important factor, final exam. For control group without VPen, right? They just read web-based learning material without VPen to support their annotation making, multimedia annotation making. So individual reading, and the last one, individual reading with final exam. This is a research procedure, very simple, right? Like a pre-test, post-test, pre-test, post-test. Okay, for this 4 scenario. Okay, we also have the GFT. This is like a learning style, right? So, however, the result not significant. Even there is like a learning dependent, learning independent. It doesn't matter. No significant difference about their performance. Then questionnaire, data analysis, and okay, this is the right paper. Okay. So I just showed the simple result. It like our expectation. The result like what we want. The first 3 scenario, learning achievement of the experimental group, significant better, higher than those of the control group. Okay, first is individual annotation, right? Control group without annotation. Second, the group annotation. Control group, no annotation. This is the annotation sharing. We further analyze the second scenario. We find the annotation quantity of the high achievement learner in the experimental group was significantly higher than those of the low achievement student. Okay, this is a quality. This is a quantity. The number annotation. If the higher achievement, they have the higher annotation, have the more annotation quantity. Then the student, okay, low achievement student, they have learning achievement. So this is very interesting. If you made more annotation, you will have the higher learning achievement. If you have a higher learning achievement, you have the more annotation. Okay. And then the number 3, the last number 4, the last one. Final examination dominates motivation and attitude. So final exam, we find no significant difference between the two groups. The control group without VPN, right? They just are reading any material without annotation, but their learning achievement is still high, right? Because they know the final exam is very important. If they cannot, pass the final exam, they will fail, right, in their course. So when we consider, okay, like using technology, education technology, we also need to consider, okay, how to motivate them to try their best. Final exam, this activity is the most important, right? They will try their best, no matter, have a VPN or not. Okay, no matter where they are, even they don't have very good, not good for learning environment, they will try their best to learn, right? Okay, so this is the result. So this is the first part, and before Q&A, I have one some question design. I have some question. This is belong to the assignment. Okay, there are three questions. Share your own experience using digital or paper-based annotation. I think some of you have such kind experience, right? Because you are a good student. How about using digital and paper-based annotation? What's the difference? Okay, share or reflect your own experience. Your own. Okay, and here compare their difference. Like digital is a web-based, right? Sometimes right now cannot say web-based. Sometimes like PDF, right? Acrobat or like Microsoft Word, or maybe Google Doc. Sometimes you will make annotation, right? Digital annotation. Okay. How about the difference? Yeah. With tradition is a paper-based annotation. And not easy to share, right? So what is the difference in pedagogical aspect? What's the difference? Yeah, traditional paper-based and web-based digital annotation. Okay, the number 3 is do you have any experience about self and other annotation? I just mentioned self-made annotation more meaningful to learner, right? Other people annotation, when other people made the annotation, is not for other people, it's for themselves, right? So please have these 3 questions you can consider. Any questions so far? This is the first study. I share my results. If no question, we can have a class break around 10 minutes. Maybe give you more time. You can consider, okay, to figure out maybe your understanding, and then maybe you have something that can understand very well. Maybe you can prepare your question and ask or upload to chatting room. Okay. If no question, let's take a break. It's okay. Let's back around a 2 minutes past 3.
So exactly, Prof. Hwang, for this question, I just saw on the Google Drive, it is one of the first assignment you given to the student.
So there are
For
questions
this
over
3
there.
question, and also, no, I
So
just want to clarify. I just want to clarify about these questions,
Yes.
because I just checked on the Google Drive. This question is part of the first assignment that you give to the student for them to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So later you can think more, right? So let's a break and let's come back about 3 past 3. It's okay. 3 minutes past 3. Okay.
3 minutes.
Take a break, have a drink, or maybe go to washroom. Hello. So there is a question.
I think there are some students who wants to ask, but they are still waiting for writing it on the chat box because they not like what confident enough to deliver it directly. That one on the chat box, Professor.
Yeah, I think this is better, right? So okay. Yes, I think Google Doc also have the annotation, right? No, this is very, I think, common, function, right? But Google Doc, this is good because they can, Google Doc, we can co-edit. We can co-edit, right? We can co-edit the Google Doc together. Definitely, the annotation also can share. You know that my study, the first paper I published is 2007. Is much earlier, right? Than Google Doc. Actually, this idea I have around like 2004. Around 2004. I conduct this study around 2004 or 2003. So usually the researcher, do more pioneering study, right? So the idea is much more earlier than commercial product have. They find annotation is really useful. So you can look like Acrobat reader, PDF reader, or like a Microsoft document, but they just for like individual, right? They cannot like web-based environment can share easily. If you want to share, you need to send a document to others. Okay. So I think Google Doc, they can co-edit the document together, also can make annotation together. Good. Okay, let's continue my second study. Okay. So the second study also related to annotation, but I try to apply annotation to EFL writing and speaking. Okay, how to help EFL speaking and writing for junior high school students. Okay, this is quite interesting. Just I mentioned the first study, final exam, this activity dominate, right? The student motivation, no matter you have annotation tool or not. So here I talk about how to design meaningful, interesting activity. So, okay, so here the activity related to interactivity. Yeah, interactivity. Okay, in language learning. So interact, like a rehearse, comment, or like a correction from the teacher or peer, right? Or self the provide feedback. So I think, yeah, interactivity is very important. How to, have the interaction with others. How to talk to others. Okay, particularly for language learning. Language learning is for deliver your opinion, right? Express your idea, and then hope they can, your partner can give feedback, right? So this is a very useful activity when you learn the language. So influence learning positively, right? However, for Asia, like Indonesia, Taiwan, China, Japan, Korea, okay, their learning environment is not very good. It's not very effective. For example, usually in the classroom, right, it's not a real, okay, then just like a reader textbook, right? Okay, it's not real or nature English environment, not like okay, related to your daily life. Also, instruction based on large group, for example, just like this way, so many participants, right? And then teacher dominated. I usually, teacher dominated, and also grammar and the translation method for English learning. Teacher usually, just talk about grammar, right? And translate to the mother language. Okay, and also exam oriented, test-based lecture. Yeah, usually one student have a good exam, right? And get a high score. And also based on textbook. So this is not a good way. Good way is try to connect to your daily life, right? Have the more interaction in activity design. How to use the language. Okay. So I also survey some related paper like a computer assisted language learning, multimedia for language learning can motivate students, right? And stimulate their imagination, help them to give them meaningful output. Okay, multimedia give the picture, right, and give the audio. And the annotation allow the student to express their opinion, right? And also, if annotation sharing with peer can help further discussion and collaboration. So this study, we also use the VPen annotation. And then students use annotation to accomplish the activity. We will give interesting activity design. Students use a VPen multimedia annotation to accomplish, to finish their activity. So annotation can help promote active language learning, like writing and speaking. Okay, so let me wait. I need to close my door. Yeah, I forget to close my office door. Okay, here talk about multimedia, right? And later talk about annotation. So VPen, I have introduced in my first slide is a multimedia annotation tool. Okay. So we have the 7 activity design. Okay, for EFL learning, like individual picture sharing. We ask a student to upload the picture, their picture. For example, what kind of food you like. Some students like a chocolate cake, right? Some students like a strawberry cake. So upload the picture and try to explain, okay, the picture content. And then next is based on the activity A. Activity B based on activity A, okay. Commenting on the peer work. Okay, they're like a picture, what they write or what they speak. Because this study is for like speaking or writing. Learning, language learning have the 4 skill. What's the 4 skill? Listening, speaking, reading, writing, right? Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Okay, these 4 skills, there are 2 categories. One is called receptive skill. The second is called productive skill. Receptive skill means that, okay, you just receive, right? Like read and speak. Reading and speak, reading and listen. Reading and listening is I both belong to receptive skill. What is the productive skill? Productive, you need to produce. You need to say that, you need to write, right? So speaking and writing, both are productive skill. Okay. So this study, we focus on productive skill. So commenting on the peers' work. Then we have another activity like questioning and answer. Okay, we give them maybe some question. Okay, students need to answer. And also like a story, complete a story, or maybe story relay. We give them some picture, students try to make a story by themselves, use their imagination. And also story relay, okay, take turn one by one to finish a story, okay, use imagination. And then activity F is a picture. They also like their picture, the campus picture. they have the like a sport activity, they take picture, describe the picture, right? Because that is quite related to their daily life. Also like opinion exchange, okay, opinion exchange. So there are 7 activities using VPen, and to write their answer in English. Okay, you can look at this is like the same left side is a category, right, of the learning material. Here also of the group mode. So I also show this one, right? So there are 3 students in one group. So this is the current user. There are 2. There are 2 group members. The other 2 group members. So it's a different name. Okay, different name. Okay, so this is interesting. So they upload this chocolate cake. They read. They can read learning material and made annotation. The annotation made by them. Okay, and then this is a student upload chocolate cake, and then they make a text annotation, texture annotation. So this is my favorite chocolate cake, right? And it's very special, right? You can look at this chocolate cake; it's very special. However, other students said, "Oh, your voice is too low." Okay, your voice is too low. Okay, this is give the like a comment. Okay, so this is activity C. Is a question. You can look. Oh, so many annotation, right? So many. Okay, so many. There are 3 students. So many. So this is a Warner. Okay, this is a current user. This is the second student. Then this is the third student. So the picture behind there is like an earthquake in Taiwan. Yes, so many earthquakes, just like in Java Island, right? Another volcano. So in Taiwan, maybe yesterday we just have an earthquake, but not so serious. We are used to earthquake, and we don't worry because our building is quite strong. So usually we just stay very calm. Yeah. So you can look at when earthquake happen. This is maybe in the kitchen. Okay, this is housewife in the kitchen, right? And then maybe there is in the study room when earthquake happened. So different picture. You can look at the picture. So they will what happened? What can you see in the picture? Okay, the falling and the shaking, right? What did the girl feel? Okay, so you can look at this is the picture question, and this is another picture. Where might they be when the earthquake happened? Where they be? Maybe this is maybe in a park, in the picnic, right? So what were they doing in the picture? So there are many, right? What are the people in the same uniform? Okay, maybe they in the classroom, right? Okay, was the one who hide under the table, doing right? Because in the classroom, usually when earth happen, teacher told the student if earthquake happen, they will hide under the table, right? Under the table. So this is interesting. Okay, so this is like a picture 5. This is a picture 5. Woman cooking. Was a woman cooking? How do you know? Okay, is it dangerous to cook in the kitchen when the earthquake happened, right? So student, this is a very good, example. So many annotations. Students try to, write their opinion. Okay, in this activity C. Okay, so this is activity D. Okay, so there are 3 pictures. This is like the pyramid in Egypt, right? Pyramid in Egypt. So this is the first picture with the description. Our story began 5,000 years ago, right? This is how old of the Great Pyramid is. Okay, so this is the first. Then the second picture, student need to, write, complete the story, right? Give the first picture, have a description. Then second picture, student need to make their own story, continue. Okay, camel in the picture and the man in the picture look like at a pyramid. And look, he's thinking about something now, right? So this is they try to, make a, like a more story to complete the story. This is activity D. activity E is a story relay. So you can look at there are Harry Potter, right? There are 5 pictures. Students, they need to, relay, describe each picture one by one. Okay. Describe the picture one by one. So this is the story relay. Usually you can look at the use the voice, right? Audio breaker, try to describe the picture. Okay, this is activity F, this the sport activity on campus. So there is a real picture. Okay, so they upload the picture in a sport activity and try to write their comment, right? Or what is in the picture? Okay, so to show our class and send to every people, right? Look at the picture; they are very diligent and dense, right? So you can look. Okay, he was the first one who ran the race, right? So maybe this is a pronunciation error, right? Although we didn't win the game, but we really did our best. Okay. So this is their opinion. Okay. So here, this is like research variable architecture. There are several parts. Let's look. There are several parts. The upper left part. This is a questionnaire. The upper part, okay, this is a questionnaire like easy to use, VPN, and the usefulness, user questionnaire, and the usefulness activity. Usually, this is TAM, is technology acceptance model. Technology acceptance model. Okay, here, the system easy to use. Okay, this system is useful, but we also consider activity design. We have the 7 activity. We want the student, okay, know their perception told to the usefulness activity or preference, have a fun or not, right? Because the activity they feel interested, have a lot of fun. Then we will know the attitude. Okay, told using VPN. They want to use VPN, And next is about the actual usage. We will record the usage. Okay. The usage, the amount of the annotation they made. So this is about like a questionnaire and the like actual usage. In the middle part, here activity. There are 7 activities. We ask them to speak and write. So this is we evaluate their speaking and the writing performance. So we find they are in each part. Writing, this is a writing score. This is speaking score. We divided writing and speaking one way and interactive. One way they just write. Interactive, they have the interaction. Okay, interaction. Just like the second activity is a comment, right? Second activity is a comment, commenting on the peer work. So we will know the commenting. Okay, so example, this student keep coming, oh, your voice is too low, right? So we want to know, okay, speaking and writing, different way, one way or like interactive way. And here is we also analyze the preference. Some students like writing, some students like speaking. So it depends on the activity. There are 7 activities. Some students like use writing, some students like speaking, and also have the post-test. This is the activity performance. 7 activity performance. This is a post-test. Okay, we just have the one group. So this the junior high school student. Okay, junior high school student like 3rd grade. Just the one group, 27. Okay, they use the computer classroom. Okay, every 2 weeks, one time every 2 weeks. So they go to classroom to use VPN and to try to accomplish the 7 activity. Okay, this is a result. So about perception, I just mentioned like easy to use, right? Usefulness, and then the activity usefulness or activity preference. and also attitude toward using the VPN that score high. Most students, they have ranking is pretty high. So learning activity were useful and have a lot of fun. So totally different from the traditional, learning curriculum I just mentioned. Okay, just a one-way lecture, right? Or like a large group, like a large group, teacher dominated, right? And exam-based, textbook. But here we have the 7 activity, right? And they need to accomplish this learning activity, like a one-way or interactive way. So students need to create the content, like upload picture, right? Okay, and also practice writing and speaking skill. So annotation, they also can use annotation to record the learning content, right? They also can share annotation, get feedback from teacher and the peer. So also the picture, the picture, with a familiar context, they upload the picture, like their sport activity or the cake or the food they like. Okay, from their familiar context, campus, or from their daily life, right? So inspire to create a more meaningful output because the picture, they upload, they tag. So from their daily life, or they like this kind of chocolate cake, okay, or they have very good, experience about like a sport activity, right? Okay, so they will have to create a meaningful output and engaging, engagement. Okay, but there are some items is low, like intermediate feedback. Students feel a little bit, disappointed when they maybe upload question, right? Use a VPN, but maybe they need to wait a couple of hours or maybe a couple of days to give the answer feedback, to get the answer or get the feedback. So not immersive, okay, because there is a web-based learning material, right? Not immersive in authentic learning environment. Although the picture is they're familiar with, right? They like, but not immersive in an authentic, the real, like learning, like a scenario. Some students were not familiar with activity. They don't know how to do it. For example, story day, right? Because the student, they just familiar with, they just used to, like a textbook learning. Okay. So there is another problem is about students just use VPN in class, because after class, after school, when they go back home, teacher, parents don't want them. They just feel afraid. Their kids, junior high school student, the 3rd grade, high school student, if they use the internet, their parents just worry about, okay, they maybe play game or maybe like a hangout with their friend, use like some social media, right? So usually they just can use VPN in class. Okay, here. Later I will show you. This is about like a questionnaire. Okay, and then like to know that some is high, some is low. Next is about, okay, we want to know the correlation. So like attitude toward VPN use, easy to use VPN, okay, and usefulness VPN, usefulness activity, preference activity. All of them, have a significant correlation. Okay, if they think easy of use can influence significant, correlated the attitude, right? Usefulness, if they think it's very useful, okay, they will have a high attitude to use VPN again. The activity is very useful. They have like a higher attitude, toward the VPN use. Preference. So activity also important. You can look at here the 2-star, right? 2-star. So activity design is very important to influence the attitude to use the tool. If activity is not, is not useful, activity have no fun, they don't want to use the tool. So not only provide a useful tool, we also need to design interesting activity. Okay, we need to design the learning activity with a lot of fun. So just like a game-based learning, right? If we use a VPN, but without like an interesting activity, like a game, if the game, maybe students have the high motivation and engagement. because they want to win the game, right? Okay, here, attitude taught using VPN have no significant correlation with actual VPN usage, or this is actual VPN usage, or different from the this line. This is about perception using questionnaire. Okay, easy to use, usefulness VPN, usefulness activity, usefulness preference activity, and attitude toward VPN use. These 5, okay, dimension we measure using questionnaire. But actual VPN usage, we can count, right? How the amount of the annotation they made. So this is actual VPN usage. Here have no significant correlation. Do you know why? Due to no chance to use VPN after class. Because after class, students cannot use VPN because they leave school, go back home. Teacher, even teacher, ask, but maybe parent not allow. If we want the student, they can use VPN at home. We need to get permission, right? Agreement from parents to let the parents know their kids, use computer for learning, not for game playing or social talk. Okay, so actual usage, VPN usage, but actual VPN usage significant correlation with speaking and writing performance. So this is interesting because, okay, when they use a VPN in class, right? If they are good student, okay, they can try to write more, right? They can try to speak more. Okay, so you can look at if you have the more VPN usage. Okay, so you have a higher speaking and writing performance. This is activity performance. Activity 7 activity. We ask them to speak or write. So if they have the more annotation, more actual VPN usage, okay, they will have higher speaking and writing performance in 7 activity. Okay, next is about like speaking and writing performance of the 7 activity. Also have a significant correlation with learning achievement. This is learning achievement we measure by post-test. So you can look at actual VPN usage have a significant correlation with speaking and writing performance of the activity. And also student speaking, writing performance activity have a significant correlation with learning achievement. Okay, just like I show you the research favorable architecture. Just here, if have the more actual VPN usage, have the more VPN usage, they will have a higher speaking and writing performance. If they have higher speaking and writing performance, they will have a higher learning achievement. So there is okay, these 3 parts, they have significant correlation. Okay, next we talk about preference. The student, the preference of the writing or speaking. Just like I show you the research favorable architecture. Preference told, okay, writing or speaking. So maybe some activity they like writing, using writing. Some activity they like speaking. So here there are 7. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7. So usually students one-way writing. They like okay, activity A. Activity A is like upload, right? Upload a picture. Activity D. What the activity D? Do you remember what the activity D? Like a story. Activity D. Here. Like a story, complete the story, right? This is a story relay. This is a complete story. Okay, then because the first you can look at the first picture user writing, right? Okay, so student, the second picture, the third picture, they also follow the first example. Okay, and what the E? like this is a story relay, right? So when give the picture, usually student, use writing, one-way writing, because they just complete the story or like story complete, conduct the story relay. This is upload picture, right? They're like a sport activity on campus. How about interactive writing? B, sure, B is comment, right, on the peers picture in the writing. So this is interactive writing. And the number C, what the number C? What is the number C? Okay, maybe the picture, right? What happened and the question. What happened and question. So they will ask a question, oh, when the earthquake happened, what the woman do and where the woman is, right? So they also use a writing, it's inactive writing. So another one way is inactive. And G is opinion exchange. They also use writing, interactive writing. For the speaking, one-way speaking, here, sometimes they use a speaking. This is about like relay, right? Story relay. This is upload picture. But you can look at most students, use like writing, one-way writing and one-way writing. You can look at they sum up. It's more than 1,000%, right? Definitely, because some students sometimes use writing, some students use speaking. So they sum up, more than 100%. Okay, more than one, because some students use both. You understand? Use both. The same. Some they sum up is more than 100%. Okay, one-way speaking. One-way speaking is just like, okay, here the like a story relay or upload, the sporty activity on campus, right? So sometimes they use a writing, but most of them use a writing, but some of them use speaking. How about interactive speaking? B. Okay, give the comment, the picture, right? User speaking. Also here is about like picture, right? Like earthquake, what the people, where they are, and what are doing, right? So you can look at here, use interactive speaking. Okay, this is comment on the peer work. This is like a question, what happened in the picture. Okay, give the question and answer. So you can look at use interactive speaking. So one-way writing is very common activity. One-way writing, very common, right? It's pretty high. And the one-way speaking is a new activity, no feedback. One-way speaking is very low, right? Just 22%, 11%. Interactive writing is their first experience. Interactive writing is also not so high, right? So interactive writing, you need to wait. When after you finish your writing, maybe you will wait a couple of hours or a couple of days until the feedback return. So yeah, interactive writing is the first experience. They still don't have such kind of experience for junior high school students. Interactive speaking have a lot of fun. Okay, also not low, right? It's also pretty high. So interactive speaking, usually speaking, they like interactive. Writing, they like one way. So interactive speaking can hear peer pronunciation, right? They can hear, oh, their peer speaking, sentence arrangement, vocabulary, and compare with their content. So can point out some mistake of others and make appropriate suggestion. So this is interactive speaking when they listen. So they will try to give them some suggestion. Okay, point out the mistake of their peer, right? And make some appropriate suggestion. So they feel interested in interactive speaking. Okay, they feel interested. For one-way writing, it's very common. So this is common activity. Usually people students like one-way writing. And for interactive speaking, this is a very interesting, right? Have a fun. Can hear peer pronunciation to know that their speaking is good or not, right? And then can compare with their own. Can also point out the mistake of their peer and also give them some suggestion. Okay, so this is about learning activity, there are different preference, the student preference told these 7 learning activity, they like speaking or writing. Okay, so here, VPEN support, right, to develop writing and speaking skill. So, they can reflect on the learning material individually and collaboratively. Okay, they can make an annotation by themselves. Okay, they also can make an annotation together. Because this is web-based learning environment, is a asynchronous learning environment, right? Asynchronous, at different time. So, provide more flexibility. So students have more flexibility. They can log in, right? Use a web browser anytime, anywhere. And the time is, they can have time for reflection and reduce like anxiety. Don't need to have like a face-to-face, right? Have face-to-face interaction. They can have the more time. Okay, they don't need to answer immediately. Okay, similar and different to other asynchronous and interactive system, right? So multiple channel language output, so they can use text and audio content. Okay, content is familiar and from their daily life. Okay, conclusion. Okay, VPen can support the teaching and the learning activity to improve the writing and speaking performance. So students also perceive VPen easy to use usefulness. Also, activity are very useful and have a lot of fun. Actually, actual VPen usage is correlated to speaking, right? If they have the more VPen, they have the better, higher speaking and writing performance in certain activity. Also, the activity performance, right? Speaking and writing also strongly related, significantly related to post-text. That's the one is a preference, okay? Usually one-way writing is common, and interactive speaking, have a lot of fun. So these two methods, most participants prefer, right, to complete the activity, the assignment. Okay, one-way writing, interactive speaking. Thank you. So this is my my speech today. Any question? So here, the last one, I will show you. For the first assignment, I hope, not for individual, I hope 2 or 3 students can form one group, a small group, 2 or 3 students form a small group, and in your small group have a discussion. Try to summarize your understanding of my speech. The first study, the second study. And if you have a question, you can ask a question, or if you have any comment, then clarifying, maybe you need to clarify. Okay, some idea. Okay, maybe you can clarify your question. Okay, and then the last one is predicting. Predicting is more advanced to predict what the other research issue can be carried out, can be conducted, in near future. Okay, what the issue you can do, in near future based on these 2 studies. So after you understanding these 2 studies, you have a summary, right? After summary, maybe you have some issue or idea not clear. You have the question. Okay, after question, maybe you can clarify some opinion, some idea. Okay, then that's the one is predict what will happen in these 2 studies. Okay, this study is not perfect. These 2 studies, yeah. So if then what the following study, what the other study follow these two paper. Okay, so this is called SQCP. It's a reciprocal teaching. Try to help you understanding. Try to help you understanding. Okay, some paper, some learning material. You need to have the meaningful summary, ask a question and clarify some issue, and then predict what will happen in near future. Okay, so this is today my speech. Hello, any question? Right now is a Q&A time. Okay, please. Faith, yeah.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon, Professor. Thank you for letting me in. And I'm sorry I cannot turn on my video. I'm
Yeah,
Fatia from third semester students. I want to ask you some question. You say that multimedia annotation is an effective learning tool for junior high school students. The example is like VPen, but what if they find this multimedia is too complicated and it makes them unable to unable to understand the content of the media? Thank you.
okay, you mean the learning material if they don't understand, right? Yeah, how VPen can help them? May I, clarify your question? How to use a VPen to help them to learn the difficult learning material?
Pardon, can you?
So I want to figure out what's your question. You mean how to use a multimedia annotation to help their understanding of difficult learning material?
Yes.
Okay. So when students try to learn some web-based learning material, if they don't understand the content, how they try to solve this problem? Maybe they can search from internet, right? Use a keyword to find a more detailed, explanation about the learning content, right? VPen, okay. Maybe you can search annotation. Okay, you can find maybe some good student, maybe they have annotation on this learning material, and maybe they have some annotation to explain this learning material. So you can learn from your classmate annotation. Just like, okay, if this learning material is not easy, difficult, maybe some good students, they have meaningful annotation making. So you can learn from their peer annotation, right? So this is learned from collaborative annotation or annotation sharing. Okay, for example, if a group annotation, maybe you can ask your group mate, right? Your group member try to give more explanation on this difficult learning content. Also, you can use like annotation searching, right? Using annotation sharing to find, I know that this student is good student. I try to find any useful annotation on this difficult learning content. So I can learn from your peer, right? My answer satisfy you?
Yes, thank you, Professor.
Thank you. It's a good question. Any other question? Yeah, as mentioned in the beginning, okay, Dr. Dara mentioned, I also said, okay, for this assignment one, yeah, please find your group member, maybe one at least, or maybe two more, two at most. Don't find too many. Don't find okay 3 students more. I think each group just 2 or 3 students, and try to answer these 3 questions using like summarize my understanding and answer my question. Okay, you need to summarize your understanding, right? Okay, and try to maybe some question, and also you can answer my 3 questions here. Okay, answer these 3 questions. This is like your maybe your own experience, right? Your own experience, your opinion. Compare the paper-based annotation and digital annotation. Also about your annotation or other annotation, what's the difference? Any question? Or Dara, Dr. Dara, you also can ask question.
I just keep on listening, yeah, because there are some material that's still new for me, especially for the multimedia annotation, because the annotation that I just did lately, or maybe so far in my life, mostly paper-based annotation. So that's why it just a new material for me. So I just keep on digesting the material that you deliver for us. And maybe for some student also, because not all of the student may be familiar with multimedia annotation, because most of the annotation they used to do maybe only through the Google Docs or through the Microsoft Word, then we give comments, something like that.
Yes. So usually they just for
There-
individual purpose, right? Individual purpose.
yeah. Frankly to say, is there any particular application that we can use for this multimedia annotation?
Usually this tool, multimedia annotation, I developed
Oh,
for my research.
mhm.
It's not not commercialized, not and also
Oh,
it's more than 15 years ago.
mhm.
Okay, I know right now Google Doc is pretty useful. Google Doc.
Google Doc, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Google
so
Doc.
it's just a real-time multimedia annotation, because everyone can annote on that Google Doc at the same time, and also they can deliver their idea. Because if we use Microsoft Word, like we leave a comment, then we have to send the comment the file back to the recipient.
It's
But
member.
for the Google Doc, we can use it in real time.
Yeah, you're right. So you can use a Google Doc for like a meaningful activity, right? Yeah, like
Oh,
I
yeah.
just mentioned. Okay, maybe a story relay, or like complete
Uh-huh.
story, or comment. Maybe the some picture, right? But
Mhm.
unfortunately, there is a problem. How to have like a grouping mechanism.
Mhm.
Because within group they can share, right? Okay,
Yeah.
within group. How about between group? This is problem. If we have the 10 group, each group maybe 3 students. Okay, maybe within each group, okay, they can share annotation, right? They can make annotation together. But how about among group?
Mhm.
Not within
Among
group. Yeah, among
Yeah.
group, Google Doc can do it. It's not easy, right? Yeah. You need
Yeah.
to have the access right to other group. Okay.
So for this multimedia annotation, it's really applicable and also compatible for language lesson, yeah. Especially if we want to deliver narrative or argumentative text, something like that. Because I once received a document from my students. I'm not sure, maybe he's here or not. Yeah, from Hima. Yeah, they asked me to give comment for the KPI that they just produced. Then I leave a comment on their Google Docs. Can we classify that we can we classify that activity as using multimedia annotation?
Classify activity using multimedia annotation. You mean for
Mhm.
English
Just
lesson?
leaving comment or my students Google Docs work, or my students Google Doc. The scenario is like this, yeah. I once received a Google Doc from my students. They asked me uh, to assess the KPI that they just synthesize, and they deliver it through Google Doc. Then I leave a comment on that Google Doc. Is that activity can be classified that I use multimedia annotation?
Okay, you mean for Google Doc or use
Yes, the Google
video?
Doc. Uh-huh.
Okay, so Google Doc, this is a very special tool. Yeah, I am not
Mm,
really understand the Google Doc very well, so I don't know what the capacity or function they have. Yeah,
yeah, because on Google Doc we just leave comment.
yeah, just leave comment, right? So I don't know. Maybe we can have the statistic. okay, amount
Mhm.
of the comment, okay, amount the annotation, okay,
Yeah.
each person they made. Maybe we have such kind of statistic. Okay,
Okay.
but I don't know the quality. Important is quality. Yeah, because you know, even the one annotation, we need to know the
Mhm.
quality of the annotation, not the quantity only, right? So there are a lot of the research issue. We need to, you know, investigate further, right? We need to investigate, you know, further because not only amount, we concern the quality, right? Maybe one annotation have a lot of the important concept, but maybe other annotation just have the very simple concept. So we need to have a coding, right? To coding the content of each annotation. And also, I
Based on
use
your
VPen for mathematical learning, not only English learning. I also use a VPen for mathematical learning.
Okay, for mathematical learning. So based on your research on this multimedia annotation, Prof. Hwang, is there any increment on their like learning retention or learning disposition or their learning or their understanding towards the material that is discussed during the lesson by using this multimedia annotation?
Yes, you are right. Annotation, individual annotation sharing or group annotation. This is just for like you know, help them remember, right? Maybe important concept when they read the textbook. But we also design more meaningful activity like you know, learning journal. You know, annotation and learning journal. This is very different. Annotation based on the learning content, right? If we get a read of the learning content, annotation become meaningless, right? Because annotation anchor on the learning material, right? So when we get a read of the learning material, annotation become meaningless. However, learning journal is very different. Learning journal, okay, you know, write a learning journal without, you know, textbook, right? You just write down important concept idea, so you can read the learning journal independently. Okay.
Independent.
So it's very different. Annotation is like segmented, right? Segmented, you know, oh, maybe you find out important, you make annotation, okay, but not organized well, not structured well, right? Learning journal maybe sometimes is organized very well. For example, okay, maybe chapter 1, okay, you have the learning journal. Chapter 1.1, you have another learning journal, right? You summarize learning, you know, each chapter, subchapter, right? So we have another study, you know, how to guide the student use VPen to make a more meaningful learning journal, rather than just the segmented annotation. Okay, annotation is very important, right? But you know, if we ask a student to make a more content, and then okay, they will become learning journal, not just annotation. So we also have such kind of study, how to extend the annotation to become the learning journal.
Okay, thank you for Hwang. I just realized that in annotation we add some we annote the important point from the thing that we read or the thing that we find on the text. Then we add something like a further explanation or further elaboration towards the thing that we read. Okay. Ini TP21. My student, do you have any question or not for this topic today? This is just the first topic of 7 topic, yeah, that we are going to discuss with Prof. Hwang.
Okay, next lecture I will talk about also annotation, but I talk about the theory. What kind of theory can support and why annotation is so important. So I will talk about this part. I propose
Interaction.
Interaction and interaction. Interaction, this is the term, the vocabulary I invent. Interaction, interaction, and interaction. Well, next.
Interaction. So this is the term that you invent by your own self and also your team.
Yeah. I invent that, we know interaction, right? Interaction, okay, but we don't have interaction. Interaction is mean talk to yourself. Interaction is talk to other people, right? So you involve at least two people. Talk to your friend, talk to your parent, talk to your teacher. But interaction is talk to yourself in different time, right? You made annotation right now. Maybe 2 days later, in 2 days, you will read again, right? So, why you make annotation? Because for yourself, right? Later on, maybe you need to read again, right? To remind you. So this is called interaction. Okay, so next time I will talk about this part.
It's just new terminology, yeah. Interaction, interaction, and outeraction.
Yeah, outeraction is like a social talk. It's not for learning, like a build, relationship. Okay, social relationship, and then later you will talk about how to learn, right? How to exchange idea. Okay, or solve the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Hwang. For today, I think it's already nearly 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock on your time. I just want to remind the student for the assignment 1. As you can see on the Google Drive, Prof. Hwang already shared the question or assignment that you have to do. It's about 3 questions and also 1 group work. And the due date for this assignment 1 will be on 8th of October 2023. It means on Sunday, 1 day before our second meeting with Prof. Hwang. Make sure that you do it, and submit it on time. And I just upload the answer sheet for you to use or as the guidelines for you to answer the question that Prof. Hwang asked on your assignment 1. So if you want to modify, you can modify the content, but for the header and also the footer, just leave it alone, leave it untouched, but you can modify the content, depends on your needs on answering the assignment 1. Okay, is it clear? EduTech 21 and also 22, if it's clear, please give me reaction of thumbs up. Okay, Sharifa, clear. The other student, I just wait for your, okay, Nabila, Elsa, Alta, Fondisa, and the other, okay. I think it's clear enough. As we discussed before, this is a visiting professor class, which contains of 7 meetings. It means at the end of the meeting, Professor Hwang will decide who are eligible to get a mini transcript or a certification or mini credential that you already take this digital, the visiting professor class. So if you want to convert it with some of the course, just like this Etika and also Expera that collide the schedule, we can use this visiting professor class to convert it with your related course. Okay. Prof. Hwang, is there anything that you want to say or that you want to deliver to the students?
Okay, thank you all your participation, and see you soon next week, right? Next week is when? Is 2 p.m. or 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. Based on our schedule, will be on 10 a.m. because the request for the afternoon class only on the 2nd of October. 9th of October will be morning class.
Yes, so October 9, right? October 9.
Yeah, October 9 will be morning. Yeah.
Okay, see you at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Hwang, for today's class. We meet you again on the next meeting that is on Monday next week. I hope the student can fulfill all the assignment that you asked them to do. And They will submit it and I will forward it to you. Yeah, Prof. Hwang, all their answer sheet.
Thank you.
Okay,
Usually, I have
class.
the two thing.
Mhm. For
Usually,
the answer sheet, is it? Mhm.
yeah, it's
For the
okay.
answer sheet, just we use the same Google Drive, or we use another Google Drive. I mean, just for them to submit it.
Okay, just use the same Google Drive. Maybe also show
Yes,
the
yes. Okay.
some folder show the their answer. Is okay. Okay, create
Okay.
one
Okay.
folder.
So,
Okay,
mhm.
the student
Okay.
can upload the answer to assignment 1.
Yeah. Okay. I will create a new folder that answer set of assignment 1. Okay, for the EduTech student 21 and also 22, if you do not have any other question to our visiting professor today, thank you very much for your attendance, for your attention to this class. We meet again next meeting. That is morning class will be on 10 a.m. Taiwan time or 9 a.m. Indonesia time. Similar 2 hours visiting professor class, and for those who have another agenda, we will discuss it with our head of study program. Prof. Hwang, thank you very much for today. We meet again next meeting, and I hope everyone is in a good health and also a good condition. Last word, let we close this visiting professor class today. Thank you very much, everyone. For today, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Taichen, Prof. Hwang.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yeah.
See you. See you.
再见。
再见。
谢谢。Okay.
谢谢 Prof.
Thank you. Thank you all of you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Hwang.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oke.
Saya
Ya,
share,
TP
Prof.
2122 jangan lupa assignment-nya dikerjakan, due date-nya adalah minggu ya, minggu tanggal 8. Kemudian kalau untuk lecture and note-nya, kalau gitu dikumpulkan barengan saja ya, biar tidak ngumpulin bolak-balik gitu. Jadi lecture note-nya juga dikumpulkan bersamaan dengan assignment 1 ya. Nanti akan dibuatkan folder untuk upload assignment 1, silahkan di-upload di sana. Oke. Jadi keep in touch dengan G Drive tadi. Terima kasih untuk hari ini, untuk perhatiannya dan juga kesempatan bergabung di visiting professor ini. Saya akhiri, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi
Terima
wabarakatuh.
kasih,
Terima kasih, Ibu.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Bu Dela.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Iya, ayo semangat.